Good afternoon, Detroit. I probably need to get my glasses, but I refuse to. Good afternoon. I am Rufus Beal, and welcome to another edition of Talking To. And it's a weekly talk show of human interest with three different perspectives from three great individuals. And we deal with anything that will be an enhancement to your everyday and life, so that it give you things to think about, to talk about, and to kind of mull over. And so we invite you to like and share right now. Tell your people virtually by liking and sharing that Talking To is on the air today. And with that, we say good afternoon, Justin Hearn. How are you?
What's going on, good people? I'm doing well. How are
That's
you?
I'm better now. I was so concerned about your mic and Joanne's mic.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about my mic.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let me text him. I'm like, okay, let me call him because whatever you were saying, I could tell it was good.
And good afternoon to the jewel, Joanne Tolson Fuller. How are you today?
So kind. Good afternoon. I'm wonderful. I am wonderful. Tired but wonderful.
Tired but wonderful.
Yes.
Joanne, how was your day today?
It was good. Busy. I had a baby shower I did today. So,
okay.
Yep. So Mm-hmm.
Did you cater or did you decorate or
both?
Both.
Wow.
I sure did. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Catered, decorated, put it all together. Mm-hmm.
So when you have to do a multiple things, how much earlier do you have to start on the day of the event?
You know what? Small one. This one was a smaller one.
Okay.
It was only probably 30-ish. And so this one wasn't as bad. But usually I try to do one or the other. This just depends on, the size of the event and all of that. So
and what's required.
Yeah, because I do have people, like last Sunday I had a wedding.
Right.
And so I had a florist. We had a decorator. So I was just the event planner for that one, just making sure everything, from day one went well. So
okay.
Yeah, it just depends on the event.
Did you cook? Did you have the standard? Let me see. Standard is, spaghetti, fried chicken, salad, and biscuits. That's the standard baby shower hookup. Is that what you made?
Now we had macaroni and cheese. We did have chicken. We had green beans, roasted potatoes, pasta salad, fruits.
Okay, so
salad,
you did it. You did it.
Her body was where the feast was spread.
For sure.
From one end of the table to the other.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's all good and all home cooking.
Good.
Wow, Joanne, I don't know how you do it.
Joanne, I need you to send me a plate because Rufus has talked about your cooking and I haven't had none. So I need a plate. Okay.
You need a plate.
I need a plate. You just let me know when. I'm coming to get it. You just Yep, you let me know.
What they call that, a drive-by? Pick up and go. That's what they call it. Pick up and go.
Honk, I'm
outside.
Now, Justin, just in case Joanne don't tell me when to do the drive-by, you keep me informed because I'm gonna be right behind you.
You know what? It sounds like Joanne just need to have us over for dinner. That's what it sounds like.
Well, say it again, Justin.
You know what? That might be a plan. We might have to work that out before the summer's over.
That's what it sounds like.
That sounds like a kicker. So, Justin, how was your day today?
It was eventful. It was definitely eventful. I've probably did 5 things today already, and it's 7:00, so that's good. My day started with church, of course. Conqueror's Church. I preached the message today. It's not what it looks like. I'm sorry, it's not what it feels like. Not what it feels like. It was a really good message. It was we've been in a series called all things are possible. So just really trying to ignite people's faith and different things like that. And I told a story about how my 3-year-old went in a go-kart with me, and he was scared at first. And I told him, like, oh no, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You'll be all right. I got you. And so we got on this go-kart, and he was scared, because even though I had him, I could not account for the track. I couldn't account for the other people. I couldn't account for the tunnels that we went through and the turns that we had. And when we got off the go-kart, he was upset. You know what I mean? He was upset with me because he felt like I lied to him. Because you said this, but my experience was this. And so often we find ourselves in that same position with God. God has called us to be the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. But there's a discrepancy in what we're experiencing and what God said. And the disciples, found themselves in that same boat when Jesus told them to get into the boat and go over to the other side. And suddenly a storm came, and God got up and he rebuked that storm. And they were amazed. And they said, what matter of man of this, that the waves and the seas obey him? So I really encourage the church today that despite what you feel and what you're experiencing, it has nothing to do with the power of God.
That's right. That's right.
We let our storms limit the power of God because we're going through this. Then this, then that. Is like, no, the fact that you're experiencing or the fact that you're feeling anything still has nothing to do with the power of God. So it was a great message, I think.
Hey,
and people,
all right now.
It was good.
I know.
Yeah.
They need a new outlook.
Right now.
Yeah, for sure. And then
we should have ended on that one.
That was a good offered plater there.
That was a good offered plater right there. Listen, my cash app is, if you want to go, look, so I had to run from church and run to work. There was supposed to be put on by the Detroit Police Department LGBT TQ. Okay, TQ. I always mix the last 2 letters up. I don't know why, but that it was a bike ride. Well, it was supposed to be. But I don't know if it wasn't marketed right or whatever happened. But only like 2 folks showed up, and so after like an hour of waiting, they decided to cancel it and whatnot. But so I work in field recruiting, which is a community engaging department. So I'm called on to do stuff and be present at whenever we're engaged in our community. And so today was their day for their bike ride. Well, it's not their day, it's been their month, I should say.
Right.
It's been their month. So we've been engaging that community all month in different areas and aspects, and today was one of those. Then I went to go spend time with some more mama, so I got to today, got to love on her. So I've had a full day, and it's been wonderful.
Well, Joanne and Justin, I feel like I haven't done anything compared to some that you all have done. I just told a buddy of mine I was getting my beauty rest.
You didn't have to play today?
I played earlier, but that's worn off. I've recovered from doing that task today.
That task. Okay.
Yes. And let me speak about that now that I think about it. So the youth, they sing on the 4th Sunday, Joanne.
Okay.
And so they have they're in the process of hiring a new musician. And so I'm like the transitioning bridge musician until they find one. And so
you don't want to be the permanent?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I used to play for them.
Okay.
And other than the administration kind of shifted that to get another position, but it may seem like it might become added to my duties and responsibilities. However, today, since I normally don't, even when the other musician plays, I don't play their music, and their musician takes care of their song service to the church, and then I do all of the other music. So because of that, we don't work together normally. They're not used to me, and nor am I used to them in terms of the arrangements of the songs and who's supposed to sing what. Is it a solo? So I'm playing and I'm talking to them as if I'm talking to my choir. I said, well, we're going to go next. They're thinking, I said, go to the next part. They're thinking I'm throwing them words and they're looking like, what?
Oh, wow.
And so we're ending the one part of the song, getting ready to go to the next part. And I'm not sure of how this is supposed to go. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of time. I was like, next part.
Oh, wow.
You mean
So
the next part of the song?
Yes.
Oh, so what happened to all the symbols we used to do?
See, they're up. Right. This is the first thing I did. This one, top.
Yeah,
They were like this.
We're going taking it out.
They were looking at me like this. I said, okay, that's not working. I said, oh God, help me, Jesus.
Wow.
So
but I bet it worked out.
It worked out. It's 7:17 and I haven't heard from the pastor. So I guess I'm all right.
What church is this?
This is at Puritan Street Church of Christ on Conant between Outer Drive and East 7 Mile.
Okay.
Yeah. Great group of children, because they are very attentive. They don't do like talking when they're not singing. They sit like soldiers. And I guess I'd have to commend Miss Carpenter for teaching that discipline to them. And she was the original musician, but she retired. She was 80-something years old. She's a former music teacher in the Detroit Public School System. And so, the relationship that a teacher has, especially a school teacher, with children. And she has an innate ability to make sure that it's what I say and what I tell you to do, probably in a different manner than I will, because I kind of give them a dirty look.
Different too.
Yeah, and it's different. And she's a lady, so she's going to be a little more nurturing. Me, they probably see me as being very stern because I was like, next part, they weren't doing nothing, so they're like, he's looking crazy,
right?
But they're a great group of children. I think they're from the ages of maybe 3 to about 10.
Okay.
10, 11.
Awesome.
Yes.
What song did they sing today?
They were singing Inside Out, Inside Out, Inside Out. You must see my Jesus from the inside out. This little light of mine. Now, I didn't have a problem with that one, Joanne. What was the other song? God Gave Me a Song. Very nice song.
The old God Gave Me a Song?
I think that's God Gave Me a Song that the angels yes
cannot sing. That's
old.
Yes. Oh, that's when I was a kid.
thought I heard that before.
That's old.
Yes. So Miss Carpenter taught them that song, and then they did.
Wow, I mean, they had a concert,
right? They got their 2 normal selections, and in the Baptist church they got their intro song. And then the offering song.
Okay.
So they really, I guess because they only sing once a month, the pastor allows them to sing in different sections of the church that normally I would fill in on a regular Sunday with just music. And she lets them play, And the children's choir can't do any wrong with the congregation. Right. They said those
leave the
babies
alone.
Yeah, leave the babies alone. That's what my friend says. He said, "Oh, the babies." That's
right.
I even told one of the parents today. I said, your children are so well behaved, and I said that's a great help to the director and to the leader. And she said, "Yeah, they better behave." I said, "Oh, I see why."
Yeah, you.
I said, "I'm scared, Mama."
Right.
I need to bring her in on those Thursdays when I have the adults, because them adults can. Yeah. I ain't saying nothing about the adult choir, but okay.
A
But
good pastor.
sometimes you have more issues with the adult choir than you do with the children's
I
choir.
more times
Trust me, I know.
than
I used
than
to, I used to direct the children's choir.
Did you?
Oh yeah, for a long time.
Did you
Well,
really?
actually, up until pandemic, up until right before pandemic. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the children's choir here in Detroit.
Uh-huh.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did not
Yep.
know that,
Yep.
Joanne.
Oh wow.
Wow,
Yes.
I know that was nice. Did you
Mm-hmm.
play for him too?
No.
Okay,
No.
all
G
right.
did. Yeah.
Okay, strictly directing.
No.
Cool. That's cool.
Strictly.
That's something. The time is 7:21 Eastern Standard Time, and talking to with Joanne Tolson Fuller and Justin Hearn, and we are going to deal with smoking topics today. A lot of things have gone on in this past week of
Yes.
in the news today, and that has a lot of people
Mm.
just baffled.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the least. You
Yeah.
know, for a lack of a better word, just it's just baffling, and I don't even know where to begin. Let's begin here with Governor Jennifer, Gretchen Whitmore,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a commercial today that was speaking about the former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently Betsy DeVos has said that she'll do anything in her powers to get rid of Governor Whitmer.
Mm-hmm.
And Betsy DeVos is a Republican, and
Mm-hmm.
even when she went into office under the administration with President Trump, she had a lot of plans to dismantle the establishment of the school system countrywide. She wasn't able to actually do everything that she wanted to do, but
Hallelujah.
some,
Amen.
amen. But
Mm-hmm.
some things were that were put into place. And what I think is very ironic is that she's trying to push her agenda, which is probably Donald Trump's agenda in terms of educating children. And then we have the Supreme Court make this ruling about a woman's body,
Mm-hmm.
Mercy,
um,
mercy.
which is just crazy. And just even if you're not into politics or you don't follow various things that happen in the political world, just common sense. If by chance the plan is to disturb the education process, women who have no choice or who are forced, let's say that word, who are forced to have children and cannot properly take care of them. And let me say, I'm not saying abortion is should be a form of contraception or whatever this may sound like. But if you have a house full of children and then the education goes south, the children won't be properly prepared to be in the world. They won't be able to learn the way that the system has been set, in the past. And if that's the case, there's a problem there. And I see a direct correlation between the two. What do you all think about that?
First of all, if we don't see that we are really digressing as a country, this is crazy. This is really, I mean, just the day before they turned down all of this about, or the guns, and people can carry, even without, you can buy guns, I mean, all of this stuff that they did just the day before. But now you're trying to take over a woman's body, and it's not just about abortion. That's the thing. It's not just about abortion. You better read the whole thing. it's this is going to snowball into some other controlling factors that the government is trying to do, trying to take over. So, and my thing is, okay, you're going to birth, all you're talking about is birthing children. Do I agree with abortion? No, I don't agree with abortion, but I do agree that a woman should have the right to choose whatever it is she wants to do. That's between her and God.
Yes, it is.
100%.
So for you to try to control me, and then you don't have a full plan, because the plan is basically what you just said, Rufus, is that, okay, now you're forcing me to have these children, but you don't have a plan if I don't want this child or children. You don't have a plan to help me after this child comes into the earth, into the world. So now I mean, it's so much. Look at the abuse that's already going on with children.
Right.
Look at the little boy they found in the freezer last week. Here, look at all this stuff that's going on. And so it's just about birthing children. It's not about raising children. It's not about being a productive society after or trying to help them be productive in society after they've come into this world.
Yeah.
It's basically just about control. And when you can say, well, no matter if you're raped, no matter if it's incest, no matter what, well, and then somebody, who's the governor, what's not Texas, I forget the other, who said, well, that meant God wanted them to be here. First of all, how do you know that?
How do you know that?
How do you know that? And then how does that come out of your mouth that God wanted them to be here? Just like Trump even said when they asked him about Roe versus Wade, well, that was all God's plan. Really?
Right.
Really? God gave the answer. Really?
I understand the outrage that women have and everything that's been going on, with this topic. I agree that women should be able to choose. I think that whatever decision they made is between them and their maker. And, whatever consequences, if any, that comes from that is up to them. And I think that nobody should be able to tell anybody what's right for them unless they're in the place of incompetence with something. And, the state government needs to come in. However, the ruling pretty much gives every state its options on how they want to govern abortions and Planned Parenthood and all those different resources and stuff like that. So the state's right to be able to choose or to be able to say is like, I don't think that's right necessarily, but there are some states that, and I guess I'm just going to be like positive about it and just try to see the not necessarily the good in it, but just to say that, there are corporations are stepping up. Dick's released a statement. I don't know if you guys seen it, but they're offering $4,000 in pay to somebody on their team who wants an abortion or something like that, and the state that they're living in doesn't pay it. They'll give them $4,000 and cover for one support person to go with them to travel to another state to get that abortion if that's what they choose to do. So even though the ruling is crazy, I don't understand it. I think that there are some states that gets it, and those options will be available. I know that in Michigan, the Attorney General has already stated that she will not enforce any law regarding abortion. So if somebody wants to have whatever, and so in Michigan, we have a governor who is pro-choice. So those things change, whatever. But if people really want it, I think it will be available. It may not be available in Republican heavy states. But when we look at this issue, and it's not to to digress this issue, but there are certain states where blacks can't grow, can't get into the system to make business, whatever, and that's because those states are republicly, because they're a republic, ran, and because Republicans are traditionally and sometimes fundamentally white and appeal more to white people, we have this pay to play type of thing that goes on, which is illegal. So there's going to be problems in our government, no matter what. I guess the issue that I have with all of the frustration of this is that when have we, or when should we ever depend on the government, you know what I mean, to do the right thing? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm so far beyond the federal government doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Look at Katrina. I mean, we can go on and on how the government has dropped the ball or has ruled in not in the majority or what's in the Commonwealth of people.
For the people.
And I just see this as one as another one, as
another one added on.
Another one added on. So it's like, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not up in arms about it, because it's just like, and I would expect even more. I would expect in the near future that some of the things that is going to be changed there's going to be a new opinion on it, and so we got to be watchful and everything. But moreover is, our hope and our faith and our trust as believers, if you believe, has to be in God and in God's government.
Yes.
And when you live your life with that at the forefront, then whatever Trump want to do, whatever Gretchen want to do, whatever Barack didn't do, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
I can say, from I can't say that me personally, as a black man and as middle class, I've benefited from any president. I'm either not poor enough to get the benefits, or I make too much money.
And that's the truth.
That is the truth.
That's the bottom line. That's the truth.
I haven't benefited from anybody's opinion. You know what I mean? So it's
water
under the bridge.
Too much money to go to school, or I too little money to do whatever. That's the truth.
Exactly.
But I just feel like if we don't be careful, and if we don't get and do what we need to do as people, because I stand by my saying, it's afraid of the people. Not the people of the government, but also the people need to educate themselves. And then I'm looking at, I'm on the other side. I'm thinking about my children, my grandchildren.
Yes.
If they don't pay attention to what's going on, even though I wholeheartedly believe that God is still in control.
Definitely.
But I do believe that there's a force that's going on around down here on this earth,
for sure,
that is trying to kill, steal, and destroy.
100%.
And that I still need to fight that force.
Yes.
And I need to do what I can do as a human being, as a God-fearing human being, to fight that against that force. And even with, like you said, with the Republican states that can't. Now they're talking about, if you go to another state and you come back home, they want to arrest you.
Yes.
You're going to jail. So that means that you know that much about me, which they do. They know more than we think they know.
Mm-hmm.
That when I come back home from getting an abortion in a state that it's legal, that now I can go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So we
I don't even know how that would even be possible, though.
Right, but that's what they're threatening. Now that's what a lot of these states. That's what Texas is threatening. That's what a lot of these Republican states are threatening now. Yeah. So it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy, but yet you don't want to control guns. You want to control my body, but you don't want to control the guns and the people, and just raising the age limit, just taking an assault rifle off the market. You don't want to do that. You just voted against that the day before. But you vote with this the next day. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And then you have, then you have I'm just gonna say, then you have somebody like Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
We ain't heard from him in 30 years. He's been on the Supreme Court. Now all of a sudden, he's writing laws. He never wrote a law. We never heard him stand for a law.
No.
But now all of a sudden, and I believe it's because of his wife.
I'm sure. I'm sure it is
because of his wife,
and also because of the disconnection that he has in the brown community.
because he should have turned in that card a long time ago.
Long time ago. Now, what I'm concerned about, and I've seen this happen in news cycles, is that when something major transpires or when government tries to make major changes, they go into the Black communities, they go to Fluky Joe's church, and this church, they gather up the Black ministers. They call them, that's how the faith-based term came about. The faith-based community, they take them down to the hotel, they wine and they dine them. They present the government presents their proposal to them. And then they paint a very beautiful picture of what we can do for you if your church is on 7 Mile and Mound, what we will pour into your church to pour into the community. So they make empty promises. Here's the problem. Because in certain areas of, and I'm going to speak of Detroit, Saginaw, what is that? Muskegon. There's another Flint. Because of a lot of times of where these churches are, they're in poor neighborhoods. They convince the ministers. I don't know if it's so much that they convince them, but they're able to tempt them. Some of them, let me say that, some of them.
Not all, yeah.
Not all. With visions of grandeur, then they get in the pulpit, and then they beat this message over the heads of the people, and forgetting about, I don't know how, forgetting about common sense, well, let me just go biblical. Forgetting that God gave us the choice. Now He has spoken His word, but He also gives us free will and what we can do and what we can do, not what we should or what we shouldn't do. He speaks about that, but He still allows free will and for people to make their own decisions. And then, as Justin and you said earlier, that whatever the consequences is between you and God. But I've seen it happen before where our leaders in the church mislead the people into joining a force that they are not really aware of, or present it one-sided. And that has, as you all have seen, has caused a lot of major problems. And, can you imagine just your leader who you're trusting and you're putting all of your everything into that person, and then they are telling you, forget all of that, this is wrong, and this is the way you have to do it. Now, like you said earlier, like Jackie said, well, who's going to take care of certain situations if we go this particular route? In this instance, we're going to take care of the children.
I think you make a really great point, and that's what's so baffling to me, is that Republicans, majority Republicans who are supposed to be pro-Christian, are negating one of the fundamental principles of Christianity and in free will. Yes.
Yes.
And if we are all free to choose, and you understand that God, even doing all that He did for us, doesn't force us to serve Him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so one thing that about me, that as a pastor, I don't try to pastor people who don't want to be pastored. I have coworkers that I work with on a daily basis. I don't ask them, do they pray? I don't check on their spirituality. Now, they ask me a question or they open up a conversation for me to have those conversations, then I do. But other than that, if I just live my life before them, you know what I mean? I just live my life before them. I don't say, did you read your Bible today? Whatever. What am I trying to say? As a Christian, as a pastor, I understand that everybody is not going to serve God. Everybody you may have a different religion. You may have a different way of thinking. So I am not going to try to force what I believe and what I think on you. Mm-hmm. So how can you as a Christian be so against abortion to the fact that you force your opinion on people who don't believe what you believe. That's the whole point of having a constitution, is the freedom of religion, the freedom of like. So how can y'all tell somebody they can't have an abortion if they want to?
Right.
That's oxymoron. Right. That doesn't make sense to me.
It is. It's totally, again, I mean, and when you look at, and that's why so many, especially of our young people, have turned away from God, or turned away from quote unquote religion.
Yes.
Because when you look at these people, I mean, who say they're Christian, God-fearing people, and how they treat people. I mean, you look at when Trump was in office, and the people who thought that, he was, God sent him
right
to help bring the world to the end faster, but yet you call yourself a Christian, but you don't like Black folks. If you could have taken me back to slavery, that's what you would have done.
Yes.
And so your prejudice of Blacks, poors, people of color, period, is not of God. What Bible are you reading?
It's not.
What Bible do you read? And so I think that's why so many have turned away from, and I'm not going to say God, but they've turned away from religion.
From religion. Mm-hmm.
So many have turned away from religion because we are not living. And just what you said, Justin, the best, that old saying, the best witness is a living witness.
Yes, it is.
I don't have to be
all day
to you every day. I don't have to, I don't have to. It's just the life that I live every day. The life that I live, how I treat you, how I talk to you, the things I do, the things I don't do, things I say, things I don't say. So it to me it's so sad. And you see that it's winding down. You see it's winding down.
Yes.
But it's to say that and nobody's perfect. I guess I want to say nobody's perfect, and we all have our traditions. We have our way that we do things, say things. We all have that, and that's okay to a certain extent.
Yes.
But some of this is just, to me, it's just crazy. It's just outright crazy.
And usually, Joanne, when people are pushing some type of agenda, they never shine the light on what has happened within themselves, or what they have allowed in their own families. They cover that, or they don't mention. Now, I don't know if you all remember when, what was that gentleman's name? He was the Speaker of the House, and he was against homosexuality. And he talked about how bad it was and how that it wasn't biblical. And he went on and had revved up the people to almost say kill all the gays on sight. And his sister, Candace Newt Gingrich, I believe that was his name, maybe about 20 plus years ago now. And then when everybody found out, well, your sister and everything that you have proposed to America, you haven't proposed that in your own family. And I believe his comment was, "Oh, well, that's my sister."
And
so it's amazing. Well, I'm gonna promote this outside of my home, but inside, we could just run amok.
Ridiculous.
Well, just look at the last judge that was. Let's see. No, it wasn't the last, because that was a female, right? The one before her.
Okay.
I'm sitting here trying to think of his name, and they asked him the question: would you vote to overturn Roe? He said, he said it right in his, what is it that they do before they get in?
Oh,
but he said it
campaign.
Right. No, and with he told them, no, I would leave it alone. I would never touch that. I would leave it alone.
Mm.
But he was one of the 6 that voted against it.
See?
He was one of the 6 that voted to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so they lie.
They lie.
So they I mean, people, yeah, it was just.
Now, what do y'all? I don't know if y'all heard this story, but I was watching. I heard the story, kind of on the same lines. There's a Berkeley. Berkeley's been in the news a lot for their city council and stuff like this.
Berkeley, Michigan.
Berkeley, yeah. So I want to say it's Berkeley. It's like right there with Royal Oak area, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a vote for. I want to say it was for a parade. For like, was it a pride parade or something of that aspect?
Okay.
And whatnot. And he voted against it. And his reason for voting against it was because he said it was against his religion. And so because of that, they are asking for him to resign.
Really?
Yeah, this is some probably news like maybe a couple days ago. He voted no, and they're calling for him to resign.
And
let me see if I can pull up the story. I'm trying to find. I can't see you guys anymore. I don't know what happened.
We see you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. It's fine.
We
Yeah,
see
but
you.
for some reason, like the camera, I don't know where. I don't know. It's weird. But as long as y'all can hear me, it's fine. So let me pull up this story to make sure. Well, I saw the story on the news. Berkeley.
Now, while you're looking that up, which is very interesting because Berkeley is right on the cusp, well, not far from Ferndale, and they consider themselves to be a liberal in their government and their local municipality. And I'm trying to think the demographic of Berkeley.
Okay, so predominantly white.
Predominantly white, yes.
Here's the story. Community members demand change after Berkeley City Councilman opposes Pride Block Party. Community members are demanding action Monday night after Berkeley City Councilman opposed the city's upcoming Pride Block Party, saying he holds deep religion beliefs that homosexuality is wrong. Councilman Dennis Hearn was the only member to vote no on allowing a Pride Block Party. He explained his vote by saying he had deeply held religious beliefs that homosexuality was wrong. He went on to say that he's not a homophobe because he felt equally about all kinds of sin. The comments enraged the LGBT community and its allies who came out to Berkeley City Hall Monday, June 20th night to demand that he resign.
So now let's take a look at that. So when you're in a political office or when you're running for a political office, it's not about what you think.
It's not.
And it's not about what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're there to serve the interest of the people. Exactly. Now, obviously, the people in the city of Berkeley wanted this, and he may have had constituents that did not agree with it. And I don't know if they called him and said, look, we put you in there.
Mm-hmm.
But his personal opinion, what's his name again?
His name is Dennis Hearn, Hennen.
Okay, Hearn, probably, yeah. So Mr. Hennon's personal belief and what his standards are, that shouldn't even be raised in a debate about a parade for a group of citizens. Now, if they said that they were going to be over there doing something to offend the people, well, no, not to offend the people, but doing something that was not constitutional in the law, I could see that. But just because you said, well, I don't want that over here,
and see,
no.
So, but in the same, and I agree with you. I think that, and that's what back to my statement. about my coworkers. If they don't ask me a question, I don't talk to them about spirituality. Is that when you in the public office, you serve the people, and you can't discriminate against certain people because you have to be able to separate your religious beliefs from people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in the same way, though, the United States Supreme Court has did the same thing. They have put what they believe in their in front of the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, because the Supreme Court is not supposed to give down rulings and stuff based on a political situation.
That's right.
They're not supposed to, but this they did.
Yes.
100%. And yeah, so that's why I'm like, it's the same thing. But I haven't got word that he was resigning or anything. But I'll tell you this: that community of Berkeley is going to make sure that he's not reelected.
You better believe it.
And I don't know, Berkeley's not a big city, so him being elected city council may be not even like even in St. Clair Shores, the city that I'm in now. They receive a stipend of like $4,000. It's not
for the year,
right? It's not a full-time job. It's more volunteer work than anything. So maybe this is his last rodeo, and he just wanted to make the paper because you don't make a statement like that or vote against that and say that without thinking that through.
Of course,
or even if you but even if you vote against it, what was the reason for making the statement?
Right, you say I voted against it.
I mean, if you could have your opinion and vote.
Yes.
So what was the reason for making the statement?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, was it to cause some,
right,
a rift,
friction, or get your name out there, or who knows? But I mean, whether you vote, and I feel that you have a right to vote how you feel,
right?
But
of course,
what was the purpose for the statement?
But usually, when people, especially in a smaller city or township, they may have aspirations for bigger positions. And it could possibly be because of what he said. He might not even believe that, Joanne. But
and that could be true.
But a PAC, a political action committee, or a big donor said, well, listen, if you come our way and talk about that, you want to run for state senate or state rep, we'll pour $1 million into your campaign fund.
That's so true.
And this is what happened during the casino referendum here in the city of Detroit, when they people were some city council people were for casinos, and most of them were, but some said they weren't, so that they could fill their coffers with money from the opposing view. So, what did they say? Politicians make strange bedfellows. Is that?
That's right. That's right. That's the saying. That's it.
And so,
that's it.
As Justin brings up that point, we as voters have to look beyond what somebody is saying. We know we have to do that even just in real life in our interaction with people, our friends, or people that we don't even know, that we, with the mechanic on the corner. Oh yeah, you need to spend that $1,500, and then that's not even the case. But from the premise of what Justin is saying and what you said, Joanne, that should not have even been an issue, or him to make that comment about what he felt or what he thought. So it's very interesting, and
because I'm sure they didn't go around the table and say, "Why did you vote yes?"
Right?
Why did you vote yes? Why did you vote no? We're sure. So that statement came from somewhere.
From somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
all of that.
When you're looking at you're looking at the bottom line for a city, their main concern is how can we make money, and whatever your belief is about the LGBTQ.
See, now you got me. You got
right.
me.
LGBTQ. They're gonna bring money to whatever they're involved with. So you're thinking of the vendors and They're going to purchase. They're going to be in the city parading and doing whatever it is that is on their agenda. But they're going to spend money. And that's usually what the city looks for. How can we
benefit
off of growth?
Right.
Yeah.
And there's more to meet the eye with this particular person, Justin.
It has to be. And speaking of that, just really quick, let me throw this in here. The Free Press put out an article. I'm actually looking for it now. Just maybe a week ago. That Dan Gilbert is up to receive these tax credits and tax breaks of these millions and millions of dollars, that instead of going into whatever it would go go to the Detroit Downtown Development Authority, who takes that money and puts it back into downtown and things like that. Right. Well, the interesting thing is that all city council members, minus the president,
Mary Sheffield,
took money from Dan Gilbert, or contributions towards their campaign from Dan Gilbert's, one of his companies. I think the most was like 12 and the least was like 9, but anywhere between $9,000 and $12,000, every city councilman or woman was given that money, was given a contribution from Dan Gilbert, except for the president. So when it comes down to city council casting his vote, do we really believe that?
That's what I'm saying.
That they're acting in the best interest
of the people.
Not
because you don't bite the hand that feeds you. I don't care. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Did you hear Doug's speech about Dan Gilbert, about giving him these tax credits and giving him these tax breaks and all this, because he's gonna build and did you hear that speech last week?
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
He was just singing his praises.
Oh my goodness! It was like, and he's gonna be building the tallest. I guess it was the Hudson Building, and all of the tallest shopping complex, and and he needs these tax breaks, and he was just, it was just overkill to me.
Mm-hmm.
He was going on and on. It was overkill.
Yes, it was.
Wow. Dan lined your pockets real good. He lined your pockets really good.
And this is the instance, and I don't know it to be true, Mr. Mayor. But if he does not choose to run again as mayor of the city of Detroit, he may have been promised a seat on the board with the corporation of Dan Gilbert, which is far greater in terms of what he can benefit as a city, an existing city mayor.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I'm sure. He got to get paid somehow. You live for free, but I think last time I checked, the mayor's salary was like around $147,000. It may have gone up since then, whatever. So you're not making bukus of money. The police are making more money than he is, from the city at least.
Right.
I mean, so you gotta. I'm sure he lining himself up to some form of fashion.
Which anyone would probably do.
Right.
However, you're for the people. Your interest should be for the people. Now, and not to discredit anyone who has a profession as an attorney, but attorneys are smart, and they can read between those lines and insert their authority as an attorney, and say, listen, now if I go right, what can you do for me? Because they have been educated to think a certain way, as a law enforcer has been educated to think a certain way, as in any profession. You've been taught. Anyone that has gone into business or has a business degree, and especially the higher you go and become degree, there's a certain culture that they teach, and that culture in the business is to take acquisition.
And how does it benefit me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
how
in those
will
classes.
Benefit me down the road, not just today, but how will this benefit me down
the road? Down the road. And
down the way.
And it's important. And I would even say in certain religious organizations, they start here as a pastor, and if it's a type of organization that take them from a region to another region, sometimes that goal it'll benefit me if I'm over the organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And that's probably how we think anyway. How can I get ahead legally?
right. No, for real.
And as an attorney,
it's true.
They can bend that over just without almost breaking it, but not break the law.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite.
But they come real close.
But that's why we as people need to pay attention, and we need to know. Like for me, I'm serious. For me, is Lord, you need to direct me.
Yes.
You need to talk to me. Which way do I really need to go? Which way? Because people have approached me with a lot of different things, and it's like, and some of it sounds real good. When I say that, but sometimes, but it's like, okay, Lord, if this is not supposed to be, then don't let it happen. Even though it sounds real good.
Yes.
Because you just never. I first of all, I don't like a lot of drama, and so I don't want to be entangled in stuff. I don't like that. That's just me. But I wanted to. I'd rather struggle with you, Lord, every day. And but I know you taking care of me every day.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that things are perfect. Doesn't mean that I always have what I want or need or whatever.
When you want it or need it.
No, but he takes. But I see, and I've looked in my past, and I'm looking, and I see. The more I live, the longer I live. It's like I've seen how he takes care of me, even when I think, oh Lord, help me, because this I'm about to. But I see how he just moves, and so we have to, especially as Christians, especially as believers, we have to believe, and you said it earlier, Justin, that we have to know that God is going to take care of us. We have to know that he's still there. He's still in the mix. And we have to be educated. We have to educate ourselves. We can't just listen to folks. Know what they're talking about. People say stuff, and it's like, okay, knock me in the head and call me stupid. And so I teach my husband, because sometimes people come and it's like, okay, just stop the world and I'll jump off right now, because you really think
exactly,
because they talk. A lot of people talk a good game
all the time.
Talk a good game, and that's what politicians and attorneys and some are known for, is talking. I mean, talking a good game. Talking. I used to be a legal secretary, so I trust me.
Oh, so you already know. Yes.
So we just first of all, we have to take a stand. We have to know who we are, first of all, in Christ, and we have to know, and we have to educate. Just because just don't listen to everything and everybody. No, with this abortion thing, know what it's about. It's not just about because some people really believe. I've talked to people. Well, it's just about abortion. No, it's not. It's about birth control.
More than that.
It's about a whole lot of other things than just abortion.
Yes, it is.
You need to read it. You need to get online. Especially now that we have things where we can get online and start reading stuff.
And reading?
You've got to know. It's the day after pill, which has nothing to do with having conceived. It's just so much that this is about, and it's just the edge of the iceberg. It's just the tip, I should say, of the iceberg. Just the tip.
I met with a business, and they wanted to be consulted on how they can promote their business. Now, so I'm telling them as a professional in PR, this is what you should do. You have to have a budget for advertising. Well, Mr. Bill, how much does that cost? Well, it just depends on how big your pockets are. I said, you can spend $10,000, you can spend $50,000. And so we talked for like an hour. And I see that he, in his mind, that he has talked through his conversation, he's spoken with someone who has given him wrong information. Well, to end the conversation, I just told him, I said, well, sir, if you don't advertise your business to keep it open, you can advertise when it's going out of business.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Going out of business sale. I said, you're going to collect something.
Everything must go.
Everything must go.
But you were honest.
I was honest. But like you say, you just can't listen to what my friend says who has no clue. Like I have a friend now, and we were talking about some political things, and he said, Rufus, I don't read all of that mumble jumble. I said, really? I said, don't tell anybody that. And also, don't try to give your opinion on something you don't know. And usually, that's who, as people, we tend to lean to. Someone who has no idea. Justin could be, it was going on this particular event today to recruit and tell people about how to become one of the most honored careers in America. And I bet you somebody would have been saying, well, I heard, well, this, that, I don't know. We can't trust the police. But that's generally just something that you sit around your dinner table. Sometimes don't even have that kind of experience to even know, but for you to form an opinion. And that's one thing that you both say. We have to be educated. We have to know what we're talking about before we even run our mouths. Before we run our mouths. Listen.
Yes.
It is 8:07. This was a great topic. And if you're viewing this a little later on in the after this live broadcast, feel free to put your comments there and voice your opinion, even if it's not in agreement of what we have said today.
Yeah.
We provide this platform for you to speak up and speak out and to talk to. In closing, Joanne, what you got to say?
Oh, with so much going on, I'm just gonna say it again. Know who you are. Know who you serve. Trust and believe that God has you, but also educate yourselves. Also pay attention to what's going on around you, what's going on in this world. You have to pay attention. Get out and vote. Please get out and vote.
Yes.
August 2nd is coming up.
Very close.
We've that's our voice. And if we say, I'm just one vote, you got one person saying that's just one vote, then you got two, then it adds up. You times that times I don't know how many, then nobody's voting. Nobody. So just educate yourselves and know that God still is in control. He sees what's going on. Right. And he knows. And so that's where I don't have that fear every day, that anxiety fear.
Yes.
I'm cautious. I'm okay. I'm not where I'm not supposed to be or shouldn't be or whatever, but I don't have that fear because I know. And then I'm trying to live my life daily in his will.
Definitely.
So just educate. Just educate yourselves, people. Come on.
Please.
The government should be afraid of us.
How about that?
Not us afraid of the government.
It's more of us than them.
It is.
Justin?
Right. Final words. I want to tell everybody to try again. I think that sometimes in life we give up too soon. We go through life and we experience different things. Try again. Open that business, write that book, love again, live again, trust again. Yeah. Just do it again. Yeah, it's so much life of that's ahead of us, and none of that should be rooted and grounded in fear. And no matter the storm of life that we've experienced, it has nothing to do with with what's to come. Sometimes in life we meet one bad police officer, and then we think all police officers are bad, or we have one bad relationship, and we say all men is bad. Like, stop generalizing things based off your
Yes.
experience, and try to more so look at where and how you've experienced these things.
Exactly.
Because if you looking for love in the strip club, you ain't gonna find it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Especially in P Valley.
It's not the love you want. Trust me.
Yeah. So broaden your horizons. Broaden your horizons. Look in different places. Do different things. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
Different result. Yeah.
So
Right.
do something.
It can happen.
Do something different. Try something different, and don't be afraid to try again.
Yes.
All right.
How about you, Rufus? How about you, Rufus?
Well, you know what? I agree with both of what you say. I am a firm believer. Study for yourself. Learn for yourself. Stop saying, well, I'm 50 and I'm tired. That's it. I'm not going to read anymore. Or that's for the young people. Come out of that consciousness, because we're forever learning and forever growing. And we're supposed to use as many brain cells as we can while we're here. We already using a portion of what God has designed for us. And at a certain time, we're going to say, I'm not going to even do that no more. I'm not going to read. I'm going to let them do it. They coming up. Let them do it. Yeah, let them do it, but you still be involved.
Yeah.
And so that's what I say.
Be a mentor. Be a mentor. Somebody.
Teach
somebody. Pass the baton. Don't take the baton.
Pass the baton. Just don't sit down
in your casket with you. Pass the baton.
Right. Is that the craziest thing? You take all the knowledge and just keep it with yourself, because you know, especially in the church and especially in big business. Oh, I got this on my own, so good luck on you and how you glean the information or glean the knowledge.
Right.
So I said, just learn it for yourself, and you'll be better for it. And when you study for yourself, and especially if you're rearing children, like Justin's demographic, if you're rearing children, you can teach them how to think and how to expand their mind. Take this away. Take that phone away. Take that away. Don't even say, well, I got it for them so they can learn. They not learning. They're doing.
They learn more from us.
Right.
Yes.
Sit down and converse with your child. See, this is what I'm doing. I'm over here learning about, and you got to make it simple for them to learn, to understand. I'm looking for information that is going to help our family, and instill that into their head. So that's what I say. Now, if you want more than that, people, you bring us over.
Yeah,
we'll come over there and really lay it out for you. Got a question before we go. Joanne, the wedding that you did last week, was that in town or out of town?
In town.
It was in town. Okay, gotcha.
I was at the Rooster Tail.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. I know it was nice. Well, we had a great show today, everybody.
Yes.
And I guess we'll say it's just time to woosah.
Yeah.
And take a breath and just reflect on what we've done as individuals today, and to know that we have presented our very best and what we've done and what we have showcased to others, and more importantly, what we've showcased to God on how we've used the talents and the gifts that He's given us to share with everyone else. And with that, I say 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
You all have a great day, all right?
You as well.
You too.
Right.
Peace.
And thank you, everyone, for listening, and all of our people that participated, Pam and Sharon Beard Smith and Jackie White. Thank you for chiming in, and for those who will chime in later. We really appreciate you very much. Have a great day.